Hi and welcome to another instalment of The Armourer's Bench. My name's Matt. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Australian AUSTEN, developed in 1941 from the British STEN gun. The AUSTEN added a couple of extra features, including a different kind of folding stock based on the MP40 and a forward grip. At the start of the war, Australia, much like Britain, lacked a standard issue submachine gun. They initially ordered a batch of Thompson M1928A1s for testing purposes, eventually ordering just over 18,000 of these. However, it was quickly realised that an indigenous submachine gun was needed. Two separate development paths were taken. The first was Evelyn Owen's Owen gun, and the second was a development of the British STEN. In 1941, Australian Ordnance received the first examples of the STEN Mark II, along with the production blueprints for the design. The die-casters company based in Melbourne was contracted by the Ordnance Production Directorate to improve on the STEN Mark II design. While the AUSTEN was based on the Mark II STEN, it had a number of changes, including an MP40 style folding stock and a forward pistol grip. A number of the components were intended to be manufactured using a die-cast. Unlike the Mark II, which had either a T-bar or skeleton stock, the AUSTEN used what can only be described as an MP40 stock. By depressing this button, the stock folds underneath, just clearing the forward pistol grip. However, by lengthening the stock in order to clear the forward pistol grip, this lengthened the length of pull, and this was complained about by some Australian troops. The AUSTEN uses the STEN's double-stack single feed magazine, which was one of the problems. As the AUSTEN was being improved, the Owen gun was being introduced. The Owen was a radically different design, using a top feeding magazine and a completely different receiver design to the STEN. Australia was in dire need of submachine guns, and both designs were quickly put into production. While the Owen eased into manufacture fairly easily, the AUSTEN saw a number of quality control issues and delays in production. This meant that by 1943, only 2,100 of 16,000 made had actually been issued to troops. By contrast, 45,000 Owen guns were made by 1944. During troop trials, it was found that the Owen was much preferred by troops. It performed better in mud, water, and dirt trials, partially because of the AUSTEN's elongated receiver cut. In the field, troops favoured the Owen's reliability and balance when compared to the AUSTEN. While the AUSTEN gun was lighter, weighing 3.9 kilograms, than the Owen weighing 4.2, attempts were made to develop a Mark II AUSTEN using more die-cast parts. However, only 200 of these were made, and the design was not adopted. Instead, the Australian Army standardised on the Owen gun. This was continued to be used throughout the 1950s and 60s, throughout the Vietnam War. While silenced examples of the AUSTEN and Owen exist, these were not generally issued. The AUSTEN was phased out of issue at the end of the war, while the Owen gun continued to be used throughout Korea, Malaya and the Vietnam War, seeing action right into the 1960s before it was replaced by the F1 submachine gun. Thanks for watching this edition of The Armourer's Bench. Please like and subscribe.